Everybody here who has not read The Rights of Man to go and read it, to understand the basic fundamentals of Republican ideology, which start with the self. The great tensions in republicanism, they start with the self, not with the collective. And they start with the realization that responsibility for the individual self lies with the self. And we have responsibilities to each other. And they challenge the right of monarchs, and they challenge the right of gods, and they challenge the right of churches to tell us what we should be and what we should think and how we should put our lives together. Because the core tenet of republicanism is individual conscience. That's how the Methodists got in on the act, and Presbyterians and all of that. But republicanism is an ideology that recognises the core rights of individuals and the collective rights of people. And it argues that no matter how long a usurpation of right exists, it remains a usurpation. And it remains the right of the individual and the right of the people whose own rights have been usurped at any time to collectively work to get them back again. And it retains within that right, in the last analysis, should all else fail, the right of the people to take up arms against oppression. That doesn't mean it's always a good idea. That doesn't mean it always works. But republicanism is about rights. Democratic rights, the rights of delegated authority, and the right of the people to take that authority back. And that's a bit sometimes we forget. That's a bit our leaders forget. That's a bit the people who would be the power brokers forget. The people have the democratic right to take away from the politicians, to take away from the power brokers, the authority to represent them that they gave them at any time. The people have the right to abandon the party. The party has no right to abandon the people. And that's a lesson that we have to learn. Republicanism is a very broad church. It's about how authority and power is delegated. It's how society is democratically put together. And so you can have a bourgeois republic. You could have a conservative republic, like the United States of America. You can have a small farmers, small swindlers and dodgy envelopes republic, which is what we have in the South. You can have a dodgy diesel and smuggled cigarettes republic, which is what I think we're heading for in the North. Or you can have a democratic socialist republic. And the difference in what kind of republic we build, the difference in what kind of republic we have, is in whether it is a socialist republic or not. Socialism is fundamentally an economic philosophy. It's not particularly Irish either. But all of these things are concretized within the context of our lives. Socialism is very simple. Socialism is a doctrine, an ideology, a thought that asks a simple question. How? How can one human being amass great quantities of wealth from the labour of thousands? The wealth of the country belongs to the people who produce it. And there is not a penny. There is not a euro. There is not a pound. There's not a brick upon a brick. There's not a factory. There is nothing on this land or beneath it that is not the property of the working class of Ireland. And therefore everybody else who owns it has usurped it from the people.